Hey all, welcome to another Spiritual Reflections. Since this week is Holy Week, I thought it would be appropriate for us to focus on the last 7 words of Christ. This is a traditional spiritual practice, and so often I think one of the things that we do, perhaps subconsciously, is think that we have to do something new and creative in order to have a spiritual practice. This is something that people have been doing for a very long time, and there's really no reason why we can't adapt it to our current time and go through it in the middle of this challenge that we're in now. God doesn't wait for us to invent something new to meet us where we're at. God is always present with us, so we simply need to be mindful of that presence. So, as we begin this reflection, I ask that you enter it wholehearted, whole minded. Get a quiet space in your house if you're able to. What we'll do is I will post the reading overlaid on the video, so you can read it to yourself or you can read it silently. And after this reading has been on the screen for enough time for people to be able to read it, I will pose a question to you to silently meditate on to yourself. After each of the questions are given to you, I advise you to pause the video to take as much time as you would like on that meditation. I'll only be pausing briefly in the video just for format's sake, so please take all the time that you need. This is an individual exercise. You could also do it with your family, but the timing is up to you, not up to the speed of the video, so please keep that in mind. And let us begin. May you recognize God's presence in your life during this time of reflection. Our first word is forgiveness. Jesus, even while being mocked and executed, prays for the forgiveness of those that harm him. He also prays for the forgiveness of the disciples who abandoned him. So, who is on your heart that you need to pray for forgiveness for? Is it a family member? Is it a friend? Is it yourself? Take this time to reflect on God's forgiveness in your life and who you need to focus on forgiving. The second word is compassion. Jesus ensures that his mother will be taken care of after he dies. Despite him being crucified in that moment, he ensures that she's cared for. How can you bring comfort to others during this time? Friends, family, neighbors, and strangers. The third word is promise. Jesus promises the criminal that believes in him that he will join him in paradise. This promise extends to all people. How does this promise, knowing that it applies to you, help you in this time? The fourth word is humanity. Jesus is both fully human and fully divine. And experiencing human suffering, he knows our own experiences, our own worries, our own anxieties. So how does Christ, being able to not only relate to you, but being present with you, speak to you right now? The fifth word is suffering. Jesus experiences suffering on the cross as fully as any other human would. What are you suffering from in your own life? How does God being present with you in the midst of that change how you think about that suffering? The sixth word is trust. Jesus remains faithful to God even till death. And it's easy to compare Jesus' faithfulness with our unfaithfulness. But ultimately, Jesus' example is meant to push us toward God, not draw lines between us. So how have you seen God's faithfulness within your own life? The seventh word is completion. Jesus offers his spirit to God just as he dies. It's the last thing that he has left because his body is broken as he hangs there on the cross. What are the things in your own life that you need to surrender to God? Thank you for joining me in this reflection. May God's peace find you in this time of need.